Welcome, y'all, to Coffee Time with Madison and Christine. This is more, I'm going to call this the little personal corner, YouTube. I have been feeling like I want to split some of these up. There's thunder, you guys go on. It feels like even though I'm in the tropics, there's some kind of fall feel that I have today. So I'm a bit warmer and just cozier. So I'm just feeling this desire to have this aspect of myself sharing more personally, not for self-indulgence by any means. I'd rather run to the hills and have a lot of that whatsoever, but I want to do it to help others because I've noticed that personal story gets the deepest, and I know that's what's freed me in my life, whether it's musicians or people that share their story. And there's so much transformation when we can get vulnerable, and hopefully there's at least one person out there that's like, oh my God, that's me, and I want to be able to express this, and it frees us, right? So because there's the aspect of me that I come to you guys and share things that I have learned so deeply. The thunder's going again, I just love it so much. Things that I've learned and the wisdom gained, and I'll come and I'll share that on the plate, but you don't see a lot of people like myself putting stuff out that are sharing in the moment process. So it's like hiking mountains and countries, and I don't even know how to describe it in words. So this last week has been an interesting week for me. I've been really exploring coming into new power. And often we hear empowerment, get your power back, and those are all very powerful, awesome things, right? But we don't hear about what's the process of that. So I want to share that a little bit in this video and see if this resonates for any of you. This is interesting. So for me, my experience, put the coffee down, my experience is that it gets challenging, more challenging at first when we come into our power. It is like that frequency shift, right? And like I said before, what to expect with changes, a lot of the goop comes up. So I've noticed this week, I have felt awkward. Like I've been shifting even as a therapist, in the way I work. I'm taking it up another level, and it's been a little scary for me. It's like not scary for the part of me that knowing part, but the part of me that comes from such severe power abuse, through sexual abuse, through religious abuse, that getting one's power, especially when you've been abused in any sort of way, can feel to that old self that you're doing something wrong. So I've had some shame come to the surface, and a feeling of, oh no, because with coming into our power also comes into a higher responsibility of self and other, right? So it's tricky. It's no small thing to come into our power, especially these days in this world and the way things work. We're not encouraged. We're encouraged to be controlled and to be people pleasers and to conform. And that makes us good girls and good boys. Well, we all know that's bullshit. It's not working. So I myself personally have noticed certain nights where I'm just like feeling like I fucking did something wrong. Oh no, should I have said that? Should I have not said this? I mean, into a place where it was just like, okay, I had to stop the train, right? Stop. I know enough with thoughts, and a lot of our thoughts lie to us. And I also know that when we grow, as I've said before, and we really hit new levels, this stuff that's been held inside that kept us small has to come up and out. So have any of you noticed that as you come into your power in different levels, have you noticed yourself feel a lot of self-doubt, discomfort, like you did something wrong, old shame you didn't expect, feeling confused, feeling like everything you learned just went out the door? I mean, and one of the deepest, hardest places I'll say for me is to sit with inadequacy, to sit with self-doubt, to sit with all those feelings of weakness, especially when the ego mind is in role of therapist or whatever role you're in. There's a lot of pressure, right? When any of us get into a place that we're mastering. But the humility is so important. That's what keeps us growing. That's what keeps us alive. And I know I want to be an example of that more. And there's been areas in my life that I was so shamed that I almost get emotional saying that it becomes terrifying even to put myself into the world, because I know there's going to be things to judge. I mean, any of us that put ourselves out are going to be judged, right? We're all going to fuck up somewhere and say something stupid, or who cares? I mean, that's human. We trip over ourselves, we spill things. Like, there's this pressure to, especially if you're in a role of helping or whatever, to deliver, to have the right answer. And the thing is that, and we're also inundated, with so much information. I had this kind of shut down the other day when I got onto Instagram, and it was just one fucking trauma video after another. And here I am speaking to it too, right? But it's just like in therapy thing and this thing. And I just really wanted to throw my phone and never speak that language again, even though it saved my life, a lot of the stuff. But it was just like I was cooked with all of it. And I was just like, and here I'm a therapist, right? Well, I am so much more than that, but I'm passionate because it's changed my life to look at the deep work. But it was just like, oh my God, how much more information can we get? It felt like overload. And then I even feel like the more I take information in, sometimes it actually goes against me, because what happens when we give the power out, we end up in more self-doubt instead of just coming in. We go through our experience and there's a freshness. I want to know your fresh truth. What comes from you, not from the books. Those can help, right? Of course. They can help us get more in to ourselves. But I'm just curious, have you experienced this too, where you just feel like it's just too much? And then it puts you in a position of knowing more things, so the mind can be like, wait, was that right? Was that wrong? And then we're left outside of ourselves. So those are some things I wanted to share. We'll just call it Madison's Corner, and then whoever's watching it, it's your corner. And thank you so much, you guys. My website, if you're interested in one-on-ones, is madisonchristine.net. And I'll meet you all on the flip.